Hey, how's it going, folks? All right, so now that Toy Fair has passed, I can finally now talk about some of their new reveals. So, of course, for the first video, we're going to be going over NECA with their TMNT stuff. And I gotta say, there's like a lot of like weird and unexpected things from this Toy Fair for sure. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna show you all the new stuff that they revealed. I wanted to wait like a couple of days, to see if they might reveal some stuff here and there, because I know that they did that a couple of times in the past, where on the first day they reveal a whole bunch of stuff, and then like the very next day there's like another thing. So that's why I wanted to wait a little bit to see if they might show off a little bit more. But for the most part, I think that's about it. So now I'll finally give sort of my full thoughts on everything. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So, of course, first things first, we're going to be going over their Universal Monsters subline, in which, honestly, when I first saw this, I mean, the crazy design on this. I love that they mix Mikey and Donnie together. So this is the two-headed turtle creature. And honestly, the fact that this is supposed to be Universal Monsters, at first I was a little confused because I don't remember ever really seeing something like this. So I was kind of wondering if they're going to go a little bit beyond just with Universal Studios and stuff like that. I mean, to think that this started off like, for fun efforts when they did their Frankenstein wrap, and look how far we've gone. Honestly, this looks really amazing, and I love the alternative head that he comes with too with Mikey. I mean, it looks like a Cyclops. When I first saw this, it gave me like heavy Ray Harryhausen vibes because of like his creatures that he used to make for his films. For those of you who don't know, they're like really old films where obviously he uses stop motion for his monsters. This reminds me of the Cyclops from the Seventh Voyage of Simba. I think that's the one. I don't know. If you see one Ray Harryhausen film, you've seen all of them pretty much because of the way of the creatures look. They're very distinct, and that's what this reminds me of. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the slight inspiration for this, but this looks so cool. I mean, wow. But it's the next one we gotta talk about too, because this next one is insane. I mean, look at my boy Krang rocking those colors. I mean, that is so creative. I love this. Who's in charge of this? I mean, we all know who's in charge of this, but still, this looks great. I mean, the colors, they pop, especially with his arms. That looks so weird. Again, I don't really know exactly what films these are from. I mean, obviously we all know, the Mummy, Frankenstein, Dracula. We all know that that's Universal Studios that created those and all that. But so this one I'm not too familiar with, but either way, this looks insane. The only downside, honestly, it's not even the figure itself. It's the fact that it's a pending licensor. So that means that this figure could become a reality. We might actually see this in stores one day. Who knows? But don't get me wrong. Usually when that happens, when they do the pending license of licensors and all that, I mean, most of the time the figures they do end up making it. So I don't think we have anything to worry about. I think we could definitely see this figure somewhere in the near future. I mean, for the most part, there's no misses for sure. This is really cool. I love the way this looks. I mean, it's bizarre to say the least. They go all out with these. Okay, so it's called what? Monsters Crank. Yeah, you see. Who knows? Only time will tell. I know a while ago there was that problem with with Tatsu that we all thought that we were never going to get a figure of him, but we did. And of course, speaking of, we got Shredder as Dracula. Now this looks cool. This looks really cool. I mean, where do I even begin with that? I love the fact that he's holding a dead rat. I know you can't really tell too well with this picture, but that's exactly what he's holding. I mean, it was about time that we got a Dracula in this lineup. I mean, they're covering a lot of characters too, so obviously there's always the fear that they're gonna run out. But as long as they put in as much effort, it's fine. But the creativity on this is, it's great to see that they go far beyond, like our expectations. I mean, obviously, when you think of a Dracula Shredder, I didn't think this. This is like wow. And I mean, the alternative heads too. Honestly, it's a good figure when you're given so many options, and because they're all so cool, you don't really know exactly what you're gonna go with. Because I mean, accessory wise, I mean, obviously you got the dead rat. I think it comes with more than one, if I remember correctly. A little candle, and oh yeah, so he does come with another dead rat. Now that's funny. Look at that bat head though. That looks really cool. Again, I mean, if I were to get this guy, I wouldn't even know what pose, which one I would even put him with, you know. And obviously, you know, you can say that a lot about, you know, most NECA figures or how many accessories they come with. Yeah, you know, I know when it comes with the Universal Monster Turtles, I know that they're a little tiny bit light on the accessories, but it's not really their fault. You know, you have to also think about the films themselves. These are really, really old movies. I mean, don't get me wrong, as of late, I know they've been remaking a bunch of these. I know that they just did a remake of Nosferatu. And yeah, I'm aware. I know that that wasn't originally a Universal Monsters film, but obviously that's a very iconic film from the 1920s. And, you know, it'd be nice to see that whenever it comes out on DVD or something. I don't know. Listen, I'm one of those weirdos that like to collect physical media, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. So now here we get a bit of a more wider shot. A lot of these pictures, I got them from, I believe, Toy News International. I don't know. I got them from a bunch of different sources. So, you know, like I said, since Toy Fair is completely finished, now we could finally go over at least every single figure that was revealed. And forgot to mention the tiny little turtle with the candle on him. That's funny. Is that turtle even alive, or is it just like, I don't know. I don't want to think about it. This next one though, this is a really, really weird one. It's like they covered him, and I don't know who they revealed it to first. I don't know if it was Pixel Dan or somebody else. So they basically did almost all the figures based off of the classic you know, 90s films. So who else is next? Pretty much that was just sort of their idea. I know that they brought it up where they did everybody. So what else is there? So you would think that would pretty much be it for the line. They did pretty much all the movies. I mean, with the exception of the bad guys from the third film. I don't know if they will ever really go that far, but this was shocking. They're gonna do a what if series. So obviously Bebop and Rocksteady were exclusive mostly towards the cartoon. They never appeared in the film. So that's pretty much what this is. This is like a what if scenario with these guys. What if they actually appeared in the movies? If that was the case, I guess this is what they would look like. Honestly, me personally, I think they look fine. I kind of like them. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've seen this is mostly where the criticism comes towards these figures. From what I hear a lot of people really don't like these. I mean, I don't know why. I think they're fine. I will admit one thing: the Bebop head is kind of throwing me off a little bit. I do feel like his head is maybe a little too huge, or maybe the body's too small. Rocksteady looks completely fine. I mean, Rocksteady's Rocksteady. Well, what are you gonna do with the design? Come on, it's simple, you know. This is another pending licensor, which, you know, sorry, we'll see how that goes. I don't, as you could tell, just like with the Krang figure, they got no articulation. So obviously these are like prototypes at best, but obviously that can always change. So, you know, nothing wrong with that. Like I said, my only complaint is that I just really, really don't like that Bebop head. It's like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll get used to it over time. I mean, these are technically, if we're going with that idea that these are guys in suits, which technically that is true, especially with the Turtles and Toka and Razar. So I guess you could kind of think of it in that way too. So it makes sense for Bebop, but not so Rocksteady, if that makes sense. Don't get me wrong. I am open to this idea. I love the fact that they're experimenting with the whole what if scenario. And honestly, this isn't even, obviously, with the exception of the Universal Monster guys, I mean, this isn't even the first time they've done that. Now we jump right into the comics. We got Shote, or whatever his name, I don't know. So of course this is the product that, you know, the final product. Obviously, I know we saw him a while ago. So now at some point he'll be released in stores. I believe they're doing another holothon soon, so I think he'll be part of that, but I'm not exactly too sure. What I really do enjoy the most though is this new 4-pack that they got going on with the 4 turtles, where they're all pretty much in their disguises. We've gotten something like that before with the cartoon turtles, but now we're getting it with the Eastman and Large turtles, so that's nice. I love seeing that. And they, you know, they got that kind of gangster vibe, you know. They look really cool, honestly. I'm half expecting this pack to come with a Chicago typewriter or something. I don't know. If you're confused by that, that's a weapon from Resident Evil 4, in case you don't know what that is. Here's a full picture of how they are. They look really nice. I don't know why they got a sack of money for us. It's been a while since I've read the comics, so I know I'm probably lacking a lot in context, which I'd like to apologize ahead of time. But look, when you indulge in so much TMNT content like I have, listen, you're gonna tend to forget at least a little bit of something, you know. I mean, come on. But again, that this is very, very nice. I love that they got different variations going on, because at first I know that they were talking about how they weren't really planning on doing any more guys like these, but because, hey, these things, they just kept getting more popular. What can I say? So they try to look in, read the comics more, and see what else that they can do with it, and here we go. And of course, we're also getting a new Fugitoid, but he's like he glows in the dark. And for the most part, he does come with the same accessories like his previous version. I own the first version that came out. I remember, I believe that came out when they did the holothon thing for the first time. Listen, if you look at my channel enough, oh, by the way, please subscribe if you like. And yeah, I have like a whole entire playlist of just my toy hunts, and I know for sure in one of them I did found this guy and I filmed it. I could be wrong though. I think that was like during one of my aftermaths, because I didn't do it too much back then, but I do it a lot now when I film my toy hunts, and then, you know, I kind of show off. You get what I mean. I show off more stuff I find towards the end. As for Last Ronin, of course, they're doing their next generation turtles, although unfortunately I can't really give you too much context on these guys, only because I haven't really read that far into the comics, unfortunately, so I'm pretty behind. But I'll respect a good figure when I see it, and this looks pretty freaking cool. And I know you've been hearing me say that a lot throughout this whole thing, but hey, I mean, I can't help it. These are very, very nice and decent looking figures, you know. And for the most part, when it comes to these guys, from what they said with in the interview with Pixel Dan, they said they're going to be releasing at least 2 of these guys at a time, and then the other 2 later during the year. I mean, wow, this looks really nice. I love the weapons though. I like the fact that for all of them, they pretty much almost have all the turtle weapons. You know, they got like the nunchuck and the sword and the bow staff, you know. And and unfortunately, like I said, I haven't read that far into the comics, so I don't even know their names. So this is the part where I feel a little bit ashamed for not knowing. But then again, you know, with my whole movie situation, you know, college and all that, my mess with work, you know, yeah, a little behind. But I'll definitely remember for next time when I see these guys. I love this one though. Yo, that, man, I mean, that's a unique design for sure. I mean, again, like, what happened? Is there like, is he like walking in the snow or something? Like, it looks like he's ready for winter. Pretty ironic. I mean, to be fair, Connecticut has very, very terrible weather. Yeah, but I love how he's like husky. He looks really cool. Lost year variants, because why not? You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, look, I'm pretty sure that the Casey and April figures are brand new reveals, because I know the turtles are already out. I went to a Walmart the other week, and actually they were stacked. They had a whole bunch of these guys. It was nuts. You know, and it's funny too, because Walmart, you know, let's be honest, it's not really a collector's friendly retailer, but as of late, surprisingly, they actually have been putting out some of the more newer releases. So let's see how long that trend lasts, you know. But at the very least, at least it shows that they kind of cared. But like I said, we'll see how that goes. So of course, next we got Granny April, and then of course we got Casey Marie, alongside the little baby tots right there. And of course, we got another variation of the Last Ronin, which is a more winter-based figure. I know it's based off of one of the covers. And the boots apparently are detachable. You can actually take them off and hang them around somewhere, which, okay, points for creativity. All right, at least it's not another paint variant, which I don't have a problem with that. But they've done so many, it gets a little bit out of hand. And of course, we got the whole entire setup right here. Looks pretty neat. And then right next to them, that's the Shredder as Dracula, you know. But this next one, though, this one was very interesting. This one actually surprised me a lot. This is the Stan Sakai Ninja Turtles, which, in case you don't know, Stan Sakai, he's the guy that created Usagi Yojimbo. Basically, you know, he did like a little, you know, collaboration with the Turtles, and basically this is how they look in his style, which I don't know about you guys, but they give me like very heavy anime and manga vibes. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. Am I the only one that feels that way? I mean, don't get me wrong. You look at Mikey's face. I mean, look at it. You can't tell me that you don't feel that way. I mean, it looks really cool. I love the ginormous smile on his face. And then, of course, we got good old Usagi right there. You know, now that I think about it, he's actually pretty tall. I've noticed that, actually. Like, I've been recording this video so many times, and this is actually the first time I'm noticing how tall he is. Most of the time, Misaki Yojimbo, he's a pretty small dude, so that's pretty interesting. And of course, we got Mikey and Leo here, which the only thing though, I don't know if this is going to be like a 5-pack or if they're going to be sold separately. That's the only thing that I couldn't really find a whole lot of, but either way, hey, more turtle variants, why not? And of course, we got the Archie comic turtles. Of course, we got April as a Ninja Turtle, which all right, like I said, I'm not complaining. All right, I mean, it was about time that they were gonna do that. I know they teased that a long time ago. Like, wow, it's been like, how long has it been, honestly? And more cartoon stuff, I guess, kinda. I mean, this is a weird one because they're really going heavy on the whole what if thing, because this is basically a robot Toka and Razar, but that never happened in the cartoon. It's funny because they actually appeared in the cartoon only like maybe one time, but it's weird that they decided to go like even further and make robotic versions of them. Especially, I mean, I get it because Bebop and Rocksteady, they got their own robotic doppelganger, so it kind of makes sense. I love the bowl of nuts he got there. That's creative. I mean, I honestly, I dig it. I'm not against that at all. And of course, we got Pentagon, the Shredder, and those are, from what I heard, they're actually going to be out for Holothon, so we're going to see them pretty soon, which is pretty good. That's very good. If you want to get your hands on them. So I believe that's going to be like maybe, I'm pretty sure that's like somewhere this month. I'm not sure. I haven't really been keeping track of that. So now that we're getting towards the end, let's take a look at their 2012 TMNT lineup, which honestly, like, holy shit, I was not expecting them to reveal this many figures, if I'm being honest. I mean, this is like a dream come true. This is the reboot that got me into the series to begin with. So I mean, it's so great to finally see them again, but like in like the form of adult collectibles. I mean, this is nuts, And I know that, I've seen a couple people complain that they skipped over the 2003 Turtles. And listen, never say never. I don't think it's that they skipped over them. I think it has probably mostly to do with how Super 7 is doing the figures. So they probably don't want to come off as like competitive, if that makes sense. Because let's be honest, a lot of the stuff that's been revealed throughout Toy Fair, they really do it mostly for fun, So it's great to kind of see them have fun with the lineup and create their own stuff while also bringing back not just the classics, but the fact that they went as far as to bring back the 2012 Turtles. I mean, I know they did tease us with Mikey and Leo, but I didn't think they were gonna show off the Shredder and the Foot Clan and stuff. I mean, the robotic Foot Soldier too. That surprised me. These are really cool, And I mean, you can't really tell now, but if you check out, other people's videos and stuff, when they kind of zoom in and they look over the figures, they actually have very nice detailing. Like surprisingly, especially around like the bandages and even the texturing of their skin. Because I know like from here it looks plain, but trust me, no, the figures look a lot more better. Like when you kind of see them like in the other videos and stuff. But I can only imagine when you see them in person, they're gonna look 1,000 times better. I said it once, and I'll say it 100 times if I have to. I'll say it all the way towards until like who knows what. When we see these figures online, it's whatever. But when you see these guys in person, oh man, like 10 times better. So I'm already looking forward to this. I mean, this looks really cool. They each come like their own little buddies too. I mean, you got Raph with Spike before he turned it. Well, we all know what happened. But and even Ice Cream Kitty. I feel bad because I remember Playmates. They were trying to pump out an Ice Cream Kitty figure, and they did a prototype, but it never ended up happening. I guess NECA is far up ahead. So all right. I love Donatello, man, but isn't he like maybe a little bit too happy? I don't know. I mean, they do. Obviously, they're going to come with a whole bunch of accessories, so they're not really showing much, but come on. It's NECA toys. We know that they're going to come with like a whole ton of accessories, so no doubt about that. But I'm very, very happy that they're bringing these guys back. And look, like I said, let's not doubt it. You know, they probably will make the 2003 guys at some point, but that probably won't happen for a very, very long time. Now, Shredder and Krang, though, woo, I mean, yo, this was fun. Fantastic. That's all I have to really say about this whole thing with the Ninja Turtles Toy Fair. Every year, it's like they get better and they improve so much, and even a lot of the stuff that they've made in like their creative department, especially with like their Universal Monster stuff. I really hope we get a whole bunch of like more stuff with that in the future. I really do, you know. And until then, I guess that's about it, really. I know this video was kind of like, but, you know, I wanted to just kind of, I wanted to talk about it either way, whether this was old news or not. I wanted to talk about these guys, so it was very fun. So until then, what are you guys' thoughts? You know, do you think these are must-haves? Do you hate them for whatever weird reason? I don't know. I know a couple of you are kind of like that, you know, a little picky, but it is what it is. So until then, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like and subscribe, and that's about it. See ya.